I marched 600 miles with a handful of Marines, commanded by First Lieutenant Presley O'Bannon, to attack the fortress of Derna, Tripoli. Supported by Greeks, Arabs, and American warships, we stormed the fortress.
Colonel Archibald Henderson, the grand old man of the Marine Corps, volunteered a regiment of Marines to assist the Army fighting the Indians in Florida. The Marines campaigned through the southern swamps, fighting the Creeks in Georgia and the Seminoles in Florida.
I was a member of the Battalion of Marines that landed with General Winfield Scott at Veracruz in 1847. This was our nation's first large-scale amphibious operation. My Marine joined General Scott's column and marched into Mexico City. On our way, we organized into storming parties and attacked Chapultepec Castle. By nightfall, we had seized that castle.
1861, the darkest day in our nation's young history. Our nation was divided, and so was our Corps, putting brother against brother and Marine against Marine. I stayed with the Union and sailed with Farragut down to Mobile Bay. My brother joined the Confederate Marines and was lost in the fightings of Dewey's Bluff near Richmond. After Appomattox, it took time for our nation's wounds to heal, but we are together again. Northerner, Southerner, Marines.
I was with the 1st Marine Battalion that stormed Guantanamo Bay, Cuba during the Spanish-American War and seized an advanced base for the fleet. 4 days later, we routed the Spanish, cut off their water supply, and ensured complete victory.
In July 1918, the demands of the war were at an all-time high. The Secretary of the Navy, Josephus Daniels, granted approval to enlist women in the Marine Corps. Within days, thousands of women filled recruiting offices all over the country.
President Wilson called it the war to end all wars. I marched the dusty roads of France with my brigade and pulled up to a dark patch of woods. Our allies were in retreat, and I was told to pull back to new positions. Retreat? Hell! We just got here. In the dark woods, we fought the Germans, hand to hand, bayonet to bayonet. We blunted and finally stemmed the flow. The woods were later renamed the Forest of the Marine Brigade, and the Germans began to call us Devil Dogs. But I will always remember that forest as Bellow Woods and the defenders, Marines.
In July 1927, Nicaraguan outlaws under Augusto Sandino attacked the Marine garrison at Okata. Marine aircraft soon arrived overhead. What the Sandinistas next saw was the dive bomber entering history. Nearly 300 bandits were killed. The Marines lost one man.
Pearl Harbor in Kaneohe Bay was attacked, and the Corps was ready, putting into practice the amphibious techniques pioneered during the Banana Wars. More than 23,000 women entered active duty.
I was at Guadalcanal, Tarawa, Saipan, Iwo Jima, and Okinawa. Names that'll live forever and bear testament to the indomitable spirit and power of the Marine Air Ground Team.
Women became a permanent part in the Marine Corps in 1948. 2,000 served when the Korean War started. 11 reserve platoons were activated. This is the first time in the history of America where women were involuntarily called into active military service.
We hacked our way out of the Frozen Chosen. For 13 days fought the cold as well as the enemy, virtually destroying 8 Chinese divisions. General Douglas MacArthur said the Navy and the Marines have never shone more brightly. The Marines had landed, and the situation was well in hand.
The Vietnam War started in 1965. For over 10 years, women sought to be sent to Vietnam as counterparts and not as correspondents. Some even paved their own way to Vietnam just to quench that thirst for adventure.
We also wanted to let it be known that we are not to be ignored or underestimated. We are not just females. We are Marines.
As part of 1st and 3rd Marine Division, I fought the Viet Cong, the North Vietnamese in places such as Hue City, Quang Thanh, Khe Son, and in the Khe Son Mountains. For 8 years, I served in combat with honor and distinction, while 13,000 Marines sacrificed their lives and over 50,000 Marines were wounded in combat in Southeast Asia.
Today, female Marines are fully integrated into the Marine Corps. Through the wars, Korea, Vietnam, and Gulf Wars, we have shown the same strength to serve our country and our Corps with the discipline and thankfulness of our fellow Marines.
I breached the front defensive line of the Kuwait-Iraqi border. I repelled, then destroyed the enemy through offensive maneuvers. We Marines liberated the city of Kuwait and were called again to do what we do best, being basic warriors.
By the time our first helicopters touched down in Kandahar in 2003, we had worked for nearly 90 years perfecting the idea of Marine Corps air support to our comrades on the ground.
CBs were established in 1942. Since then, we have served with Marines in every landing, campaign, and operation.
During World War II, the Marines created the Chaplain's Assistant, MOS. In 1979, the U.S. Navy created the Religious Program Specialist, RP rating. We have followed the Marines in every major battle since. We have played a vital role with the Marine Corps team, and we will for all the years to come. Warming up!
The Marine Corps team would not be complete without including our gallant sailors. Chaplains and corpsmen have landed with and fought beside Marines in every climbed and place.
It is the honor, the courage, and the commitment of those who preceded us that set the standards and made the Corps the proud fighting organization it has been since its inception in 1775. We have faith in our God, love for our country, dedication to our Corps, belief in ourselves, and a heritage that sets us apart.
The faces of the Marines of the past tell a story of a tough, disciplined, and proud people who love the challenge of being the best. Today, our uniform has changed, but our motives, they remain the same. Sure, we are better educated, better equipped, and better trained, but our duty has not changed. We are ready for anything, anytime, anywhere, right now. From the South China Sea to the Indian Ocean, from the sandy deserts of Kuwait to the Rocky Mountains of Afghanistan to the streets of Iraq. Our responsiveness and flexibility are clearly evident to anyone who would challenge our nation.